Hello, my dear students, and welcome to your favorite YouTube channel, your favorite educational channel, English Wali Ma'am. So, आज की हमारी OTT series by day 54 Know How to Get the Perfect Score का episode 13 है, and आज के episode में we are going to be reading the second chapter from your supplementary reader, and the name of the chapter is The Thief's Story. But before we start with the revision of the chapter, I want to remind all of you that on day 53 of our OTT series, I'm going to disclose you an absolute plan which will help you get a perfect score. This all revision that we are doing, these are also a part of the plan. But जो एक होता है ना, जो एक last nail होता है, that is going to help you get a perfect score. For that, you have to wait till day 53. And that absolute plan can only be implemented if you are watching all our videos on regular basis, on daily basis. Beta, your English Wali ma'am is coming out with chapter revisions and various other topics. So, to ensure कि आप एक भी एपिसोड को नहीं मिस करो, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also like and share it with your friends, because जब सारे friends इससे benefit उठाएंगे, जब when all of you are going to get good marks, so जब फ्रेंड्स एक साथ पार्टी करेंगे तो उसका मजा तो कुछ और ही होता है. Okay, so let us start with the revision of this particular chapter. Now, you all know that this chapter, The Thief's Story, is actually from your supplementary reader. The name of your supplementary reader is First Flight. And this, The Thief's Story, is chapter number 2. So in this story, as I've already told you, that how are you going to revise stories from your textbook? You are going to make a flowchart of the entire story. By flowchart, I mean that's one after the other sequence that happens in the story. And in our videos that you're watching, ma'am will be showing you a layout of how the flowchart of each chapter should look like. Okay, so let us start with a revision of the chapter. और मैम आपको पहले भी बता चुकी है that we need to know all the important incidents from the story because they help us in character sketch based questions as well as value based questions. ठीक है? So let us start with the flowchart of the chapter, The Thief's Story. So, the first incident, how does the story start? A man named Anil is watching a wrestling match when he meets a stranger who gives his name as Hari Singh. So, this man Anil, who is by profession a writer, he used to write columns for a magazine. So, this writer Anil, he's watching a wrestling match when a boy of about 15 years of age comes to him, strikes a conversation with Anil, and says that his name is Hari Singh. All of you can see it? Okay. Then the conversation continues between the two, and Hari follows Anil to some extent. So after a brief conversation and when Hari follows Anil, Anil hires Hari as a cook. Now, is Hari a good cook? This is the second question. But what is the first question? Is Hari really a cook? No, he is not. Then what is he? What is his profession? We'll come to know about that. So let's answer the second question. Is Hari a good cook? We know that Hari was not a good cook. How? Beta, always remember, these small pointers that you see in our flow chart, these are in a way important with regard to your short answer type question. Let's say you get a question like how was Hari a good cook? Justify your answer. So we would say Hari was not a good cook or Hari did not know how to cook at all. Because let's come to page number 9. I've told you previously also, beta, whenever you're watching our videos, make sure you have the textbook handy, because ma'am will always read incidents from the story to describe or to answer certain questions. Okay? So, on page number 9, if you see the second paragraph, beginning of the page, there are more or less dialogues. So the second paragraph, which starts with, later he patted me on the head. All of you can see that? Good. So he says, sorry, the paragraph above this, he took me to his room over the Jumna sweet shop. So it says he took me to his room over the Jumna sweet shop. He here refers to Anand, and told me I could sleep on the balcony. But the meal I cooked that night must be terrible, because Anil gave it to the stray dog and told me to be off. He said, forget it. You don't know how to cook, so don't be around. But I just hung around smiling in my most appealing way, and he could not help laughing. Later, he patted me on the head and said, never mind. So, this paragraph that we have just read, that Anil, when he offered the job of a cook to Hari, though he immediately agreed, but Hari actually was not a good cook, because the meal he cooked was so terrible that Anil could not swallow even a bite of it and gave it to the stray dog. The first question, who exactly was Hari? We will answer that in the coming part of the flowchart. And when Anil discovered that Hari doesn't know how to cook, he did not let him go so easily. What did Anil do? He not only helped Hari learn how to cook, but also helped him to read and write. Fine. So, Anil, a compassionate human being, realized that this boy of 15, he doesn't even know how to read and write properly. So, let me go ahead and help him. So, he was in a way helping Hari develop certain skills. Fine. Now, one day, Anil earns a good amount. So, Anil, as described by Hari Singh, the boy who gave his name as Hari Singh, we don't even know if his name was actually that. So, but we know for sure that this wasn't his name. Why? Because he said that I have been using this name for a month and it has helped me escape. Okay. So, as Hari describes, that Anil would, earn his money through fits and starts. So if you come to page number 10, the first line, it says Anil made his money by fits and start. So what would he do? He would borrow 1 week, the next week he would lend, and whenever he got his money, whenever Anil got his paycheck, no matter what the amount was, Anil would simply go out and celebrate. But at the same time, Anil was not making a very good amount of money. That is one. Second, Anil was not also getting an income or earning an income on regular basis. So, but one day what happens, Anil came back home with a bundle of notes in his hand. And when Hari saw it, he considers this as a good opportunity to steal. So, through this sentence, of course, we framed it in our own words. Through this, we know that who was Hari by profession? He was a thief. Correct? So, when Hari saw that Anil is holding a huge amount of money, he decides that tonight I am going to put my plan into action. And what was his plan? To rob Anil of his money. So he thought that this is the perfect day when I can put my plan into action. So while Anil was deep in his slumber, what did Hari do? He crept his hand under the pillow, under the mattress, and took out the bundle of notes that Anil had actually earned. Now, initially, as a thief, Hari was very victorious. Fine, Hari or the thief. I mean, we know it's a pseudo name that he was using. So Hari was feeling very victorious, and he thought that. And when he counted the money, how much was the amount? It was 600 rupees of 50 notes, and Hari, when he counted the money, he thought, well, how does he express his joy of the amount of money that he had earned? On page number 10, he said that I could live like an oil rich Arab for a week or two. So that was a huge amount for Hari that he had actually stolen. Fine. So initially, Hari is very happy and he's celebrating with joy, and he dashed into the platform to board the train. But somehow, the moment when he was about to board the train, his body froze. And he realized, or he felt, that something just stopped him, that I should not board this train. And suddenly, Hari realized that he was standing all alone on the platform. Now, what had happened actually? Hari's conscience pricked him that this action that you have done of stealing money is absolutely wrong. Why did this happen? So for that, let's come to page number 11. Can you see the third paragraph? In my short career as a thief. So Hari says, or Hari, the thoughts that are boggling his mind, he says, in my short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's faces when they lost their goods. The greedy man showed fear, the rich man showed anger, and the poor man showed acceptance. So he's described the greedy man's reaction, a rich man's reaction, and a poor man's reaction on being robbed. But I knew that Anil's face, when he discovered the theft, would only show a touch of sadness, not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. So, Hari realized that Anil would neither be angry, he would neither be fearful, he would neither have that acceptance. Rather, he would be very sad, but not sad on the material loss, the loss of money. Rather, he would feel sad that someone he trusted so much broke his confidence, broke his trust. So, what did Hari decide to do? He returned to Anil. Now, all night Hari was almost the entire night. Hari was out in the chilly winter night. He was out, and suddenly it had started to rain. And of course, the bundle of notes that he was carrying were also wet, completely wet by the rain. So what happens? That because Hari's conscience pricked him and he had a number of thoughts all over his mind, he decided to return to Anil. And when he returned home, what did he do? He kept back the money, and there's a very kind of a humorous sentence I find in the story when he says that it sometimes it seems that the difficult part is not to steal the money. The difficult part is to keep back the money that you have stolen. So all of this happens, and Hari, he actually keeps back the money under the mattress on which Anil was sleeping. Now, what happens the next day? Anil, what kind of reaction he gives? So let us come back to our textbook and let us come back to page number 12. So let's come to page number 12, the third last paragraph. I awoke late next morning. All of you located this? So it says, I awoke late next morning and found that Anil had already made the tea. He stretched out his hand towards me and handed over the 50 rupee note to me. And what did Anil say? He said that I made some money yesterday. Now you will be paid regularly. So Anil was able to procure a permanent job for him, because of which now his income would be regular. But when Anil was handing over the money to Hari Singh, somewhere his heart sank, because he thought that, how does he describe? He said that I had been discovered. I had been discovered means he thought that the theft that I did last night, probably Anil has come to know about it. But then when Anil handed over the money, so he thought, oh, great, I've not been caught and Anil doesn't know anything about what happened last night. Now comes the twist in the story. And then Anil says that, today I'll make you learn how to write sentences. But the note that was handed over to Hari Singh was actually wet from the night's rain. So Hari, now how does he express his thought? He said he knew. He here refers to Anil. So Hari realized that Anil knows that I had stolen the money from him, but neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. I smiled at Anil in my most appealing way, but this time it was without any effort. That means I never had to now fake my smile for Anil so as to convince him to keep me. So this is the thief's story. So now that we have read the story, let's come to the next part of understanding the story, which is character sketch. And time to turn the board. So we already know that there are two main characters in this story. Alright. The first character is Anil, who is a writer by profession. And the second character is the thief, who gives a pseudo name as Hari Singh. So if you talk about Anil, the first character trait that we come to know about him, that he was very gullible. What is the meaning of the word gullible? Someone who can be fooled very easily. What is the incident? That a stranger walks up to him and says that I want to work for you. And he says, okay, come to my home and I'll keep you as a cook. Without even verifying any information about the stranger. Second, he was compassionate. What are the incidents that tell us from the story? First, the meal that was cooked by Hari or the thief was terrible. Still, Anil decides to help Hari develop the skill of cooking. He helps Hari or the thief uh, to become literate. He helps him to learn to read and write, and also to add numbers. And the third incident is when Anil knew that Hari had tried to steal money from him, he still did not show any reaction. It says that neither his eyes nor his lips showed anything. Okay, talking about the thief or Hari Singh. So first is that he was a very skilled thief, because while Anil was first incident is that he was able to convince Anil to take him to his house. Second, very easily he was able to steal the money, and also yes, another thing that you can write is that he was so skilled that he knew when is the right time to put his plan into action. And last is that deep down he was a good human being. How do we know that? Because when his conscience pricks him that what you have done to Anil is absolutely wrong, he doesn't reject that feeling or he doesn't overlook that feeling. Instead, he decides that I should return back to Anil, who has helped me become a better person. So that's about the chapter. Do like, share, and subscribe to English Wali Ma'am, and I will see you all in the next episode. Till then, all the best.